broken windows, empty hallways, a pale dead moon and a sky streaked with gray. Human kindness is overflowing, and I think it's gonna rain today. Scarecrows dressed in the latest styles, frozen smiles to chase love away. Human kindness is overflowing, and I think it's gonna rain today. Lonely, lonely, tin can at my feet, think I'll kick it down the street. That's the way to treat a friend. Right before me, signs implore me, help the needy and show them the way. Human kindness overflowing, and I think it's gonna rain today. I think it's gonna rain today. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, Stand by me, stand by me. Hello and good afternoon. My name is Clint Narusich, and I am the head of the film scoring program at Cal State Northridge. I've been involved with Concern America for nearly 20 years, both as a donor and as a musician at various gatherings. I support the group because of their ability to help people become self-sufficient and also because of their interest in social justice. It is my honor to welcome you all to the 5th annual summer celebration and to introduce you to your host for this afternoon, Concern America's Field Program Coordinator Kat Quinn and Executive Director John Straw. Kat and John, take it away.
Hey everyone, it's great to see your faces, and wow, welcome to our 5th annual summer celebration. Thank you, Clint, for the beautiful music and for all of the photos of our field and of you all here at our events. So it was great to see those faces virtually. Kat and I are honored to co-host today. Though the rest of the staff is participating at a physical distance from their homes and beyond, Kat and I get to be together. As many of you know, we're married. And like all Concern America staff, we've been sheltering in place during this time. For many of us, Zoom has become a regular part of our working and home lives. But so we are all on the same page, we thought we would just share a couple of technical notes before we move forward. When you came on, you were all muted when you logged in, and you don't have to do anything to stay that way. At various moments, just as we've done now, we're going to share our screen with you as we present some videos. Again, no need to do anything. You can choose 2 viewing options for your screen. In the upper right-hand corner, you can click on Gallery View, which will enable you to see a number of the guests here all at once. Or Speaker View, where you will see us fill up your screen. Finally, as we do at each summer celebration, just a heads up that we will take a group photo at the end of our event today. And speaking of guests, we are so happy to see many of you join this afternoon, and we'll do a little shout out to those who are here. So please wave your hand if you fit any of these categories. We can see some former and current field volunteers. We see a number of long-term supporters, the board members, staff, some relatively new faces to us. Mm-hmm. There are also folks who live out of our area and wouldn't have been able to participate if you weren't here in person.
We also see some folks that were past presenters, which is really fun to have everyone here. So
yeah,
thanks for being here.
Of course, we're sad that we can't be together in person, but we're also thankful that we can gather together in this way. For those of you who attended our summer celebration in the past, you know we gather together in the beautiful backyard of Concern's dear friends, Kelly and Patrick Irarrázaval. Let's imagine we are all there. Mm-hmm. We've all just enjoyed some appetizers and drinks and are sitting down now together for the program.
All right. So all of us at Concern America, we talked a lot and struggled at first with the idea of celebrating during this time of a pandemic, ongoing struggles with racial equality and justice in our country. But upon reflection, we thought over our nearly 50 years of existence, we at Concern know the power of gathering together, listening to each other, and taking collective action to walk in solidarity with all our brothers and sisters around the world who are agents of change in their communities. I'm sure for you all too, the last few weeks in this country have showed us the power of this collective action and solidarity in which we're seeing light break through walls of racial injustice, immigrant rights, and rights for our LGBTQ community. In all of these examples and instances, what we know to be true is that when people come together in the spirit of helping all, change happens. In this time of COVID-19, many of you have called and asked, how are people doing in Guatemala, Mexico, and Colombia? The communities and the health promoter practitioners and midwives, they didn't miss a beat. They know crisis and hardship, and they know the importance of community. In many of the places we work, right now, we are the only non-governmental organization left in the region. Like the health promoter practitioners, midwives, and Concern America field volunteers, we are committed to accompany these communities. Because of our model of local healthcare providers, we're able to do so much on very little. And we feel we have so much to share with other programs for how to set up and start COVID-19 clinics, to how to responding to any public health crisis. And as if any of you ever talk to me, I always say, this model really needs to be everywhere. Before we take you to Colombia to see what is happening there, we want to take a moment to thank a very special group of people that many of you may know from our gatherings, which are our dedicated event volunteers. So normally today we'd see people walking around, serving water, serving food. But today we're virtual, so just imagine them here. So we go now to Concern America staff member Sandra Dones to present some very special awards.
Hi Concern community, I'm Sandra, Concern America's craft program and outreach coordinator. I'm so blessed to be working with amazing artisans and promoting their beautiful hand arts. As a part of our outreach and events here, I have also enjoyed working alongside great local volunteers who are consistently there to lend a helping hand. Today we will be honoring a group of youth with our first ever Volunteer Engagement Award. Because of you, our dedicated volunteers, in-person event costs are low, which means more goes toward our field work. And also our events, such as the walk, the auction, and this summer celebration are so successful. This award goes to youth who have volunteered for more than 6 years, and we are acknowledging them as they graduate and go on to their next adventures. Because this is the first time that we are presenting this honor, we are also celebrating volunteers who have graduated in recent years and continue to walk with us. So I present to you today our 2020 Volunteer Engagement Award recipients.
Thank you, Sandra, for presenting those awards. And of course, to our award recipients. We'll get your certificates out to you soon. And sorry you couldn't help out this year. But you know, in addition to our amazing local volunteers, we are honored to work as well with an amazing staff at Concern America. This is a great organization to work with. And the two of us have been involved since 1997. First as field volunteers in Guatemala and then as staff members to date. Today, we are honoring one of our own as she is celebrating her 20th year at Concern. When she joined the Concern team in the year 2000, helping part-time in the craft program, her hard work and passion for our mission was evident in all she did. Over the years, she approached every new duty with dedication and care. And in 2016, she took on the monumental task of becoming our finance coordinator and helping streamline and improve all of our financial systems. Her attention to detail, knowledge of every donor and friend of the organization, openness to learn, and with a heart like no other. Today, we celebrate you, Beatriz Juarez, for your 2 decades with Concern America.
So in honor of you, Betty, together we present you with this special acknowledgement that comes from the region in Mexico where we work. We love you, Betty, so much. So now let's all enjoy a few photos of Betty at work over the past years. Thank you.
Sorry.
A little minor technical there. So it's our incredible community here at Concern that makes our work in the field possible. One of these programs in our field health project is in northwestern Colombia, in a region that is extremely isolated by geography and also by topography, as most communities are only accessible by boat. In the early 2000s, Concern America was invited to visit the communities in the Choco region of Colombia that had organized themselves into what they declared were peace communities, located within a zone deeply affected by the ongoing civil war in that country. What emerged is our integrated health program, where we continue to train and accompany community-based health promoter practitioners and midwives. Concerned staff member Terry Sadak takes us to Colombia with updates on our health program there.
Hello all, so honored to be here with you today. In addition to being Concern America's development coordinator, I also have the privilege of having been a Concern field volunteer, serving for 3 years in Guatemala and nearly a year in Colombia, which is where we travel to now. For years, Concern America's health program operated at 3 rented spaces, a teaching clinic, a training site, and dorms for the health promoter practitioners and midwives who traveled from their communities to the town of Rio Sucio for our health training courses. With the generous support of the Foley Family Foundation and the Community Partnership Fund of St. Joseph Health, the program was able to purchase what had been our clinic, a single-story structure located in the central area of town. Now, we've built a 2-story center that combines all 3 spaces into one. Not only is this a huge benefit and financial savings for the program, but also the community feels deep pride and ownership of the clinic. At Concern America, we don't focus on building structures, but building community. However, with the yearly flooding and need to have an accessible structure for the essential health work of the program, we agreed to accompany and support this building project. Together, the community, the health promoter practitioners, and volunteers worked collectively to make this a center for all. Now, I'll be turning this over to Dr. Robelsi Cartas, Concern America's field team member in Colombia, who will give us a glimpse of Rio Sucio, the elevated town that is built over water, and take us on a tour of the new center.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Voy a mostrarles mi recorrido de la casa a la clínica. Y llegamos a la clínica. Esta es la parte de afuera de nuestra clínica. El año pasado empezó la construcción de las nuevas remodelaciones que se hicieron gracias al apoyo de Concern y sus colaboradores, y este fue el resultado. Vamos a conocerlo un poquito por dentro. Ahorita en estos momentos, por la contingencia, únicamente estamos dando consultas los días lunes y jueves como medida preventiva y las sugerencias que nos hacen en el municipio. Esta es nuestra farmacia. Aquí es donde Ismael ahorita es el que se encuentra apoyándonos. Esta es nuestra pequeña oficina en donde podemos gestionar los cursos que damos a los promotores en las comunidades. Esto es nuestro laboratorio. Hacemos pruebas básicas aquí, pero muy útiles para el diagnóstico adecuado de nuestros pacientes. Principalmente hacemos coproparasitoscópicos o el examen químico de orina. También podemos hacer gotas gruesas para detectar paludismo, que es muy común en la zona. Estos de aquí son los consultorios. Tenemos 1, 2, 3 consultorios. Todos los consultorios tienen el mismo material y están de 2 a 3 promotores por consulta. Tenemos nuestra camilla, nuestros materiales y aquí está lo necesario para dar la consulta. Entonces todo nuestro equipo de diagnóstico se encuentra en estas cajas. Esta es la báscula que igual la acabamos de obtener. Nos sirve mucho en la clínica. Seguimos de este lado. Esta es una pequeña cocina que utilizamos los días de consulta para la alimentación del equipo. De este lado es el baño de los pacientes. Y aquí una bodega para materiales varios que podemos utilizar tanto en el trabajo de la clínica como en las visitas comunitarias. Estamos nuevamente en la parte de enfrente de la clínica, la estancia para los hijos de los promotores para cuando vienen a las capacitaciones está aquí junto. Esta es la entrada. Tenemos también una entrada por la parte de atrás. Y la podemos ver aquí. Cada que tenemos las capacitaciones con los promotores, sus hijos están pasando el rato aquí. Hay una persona encargada de estar con ellos, quien pues está haciendo manualidades, está haciendo juegos y pasan un rato bastante agradable aquí mientras sus papás están en las capacitaciones. Y vamos ahora a la parte de arriba. Cuando se dan los cursos con los promotores, en esta parte es cuando nos podemos reunir para todas las capacitaciones. Los promotores tienen aquí todo lo indispensable para su estancia, que es de aproximadamente una semana. Entonces, lo que se ve aquí, estos son los baños. Esta es una cocina. Y tenemos 5 habitaciones. Todas las habitaciones son similares. Y es para 3 a 4 o para 5 promotores. Esta es una pequeña biblioteca. Aparte de tener libros de consulta para los promotores más avanzados, también tenemos muchos de los manuales que se dan aquí, como los cursos, como el sistema digestivo. Tenemos también un manual de fracturas, heridas y suturas y apoyo para pacientes pediátricos. Tenemos muy buena iluminación aquí, el espacio es amplio y sin problemas pueden estar 30 a 35 personas para una capacitación aquí. Y los promotores pues siempre son bienvenidos.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Q&A portion of this program. My name is Jess Gonzalez and this is Fern, and I'm here in Buena Park, California. I'm the newest addition to the Concern America team. I started back in December of 2019 as a marketing and communications coordinator. I love being on this team and being part of a community of passionate individuals who are all working to create change in different pockets and corners of the world. Now we turn to you and your questions for us. Though our work stretches globally, we always feel connected to you, our supporters. Your presence in the life of Concern brings us so much joy, hope, and makes this work possible. Thank you to those who sent in quotes of inspiration and questions when you're signing up for this event. And though we don't have time to get to all of them today, we tried our best to share and answer the main themes that you sent in. Our first question is answered by field team member, nurse Julia Kim. Julia's been serving in Guatemala since 2013. And our second question will be answered by Sister Elizabeth Ceballos, a local field team member on the Colombia Health Project. Julia and Sister Elizabeth, how has COVID-19 affected Concern America's work in the field?
More than ever before, the work of the health promoter and the stability of the health promoter practitioner model are critical and vital. The promoters continue to provide health services and support in their communities and clinics throughout Petén. In a community level, we're making sure all patients have medications for 2 to 3 months, especially those in the vulnerable population, by delivering meds to promoters and clinics. We are attending patients outside whenever possible with PPE that are made by the promoters themselves. In cases of possible mild cases of COVID-19, proper counseling and support is given to the patients and their family members for quarantining for 14 days. Thankfully, we haven't had any possible severe cases, but we have coordinated with the local healthcare officials for proper transfer of patients to designated COVID-19 facilities. This has been and is very difficult, confusing, and scary moments for everyone here and around the world, but the foundation of trust and confidence for the promoters by the communities that have been built over decades is by far the foremost important work the promoters are doing right now. In moments of panic, people want to know who and how they and their family members will be cared for, and we have to respond to that. The promoters are responding to that. Their care is fundamental, and they know their work is essential, with so many patients stating, "Where else would I go if it wasn't for you guys?" Thanks, guys.
Buenos días, yo soy Elizabeth Ceballos Gómez, soy promotora de salud, también hago parte del equipo aquí de Pastoral Social o del equipo de Concern en América, y pues estoy también aquí atendiendo pacientes con Rubelsi, y durante estos días pues solamente estamos él y yo atendiendo a los pacientes. Ismael nos colabora en la bodega, con la farmacia. Durante estos días, pues debido a la situación que vivimos, ha venido mucho paciente. Vemos muchas enfermedades crónicas, sobre todo de diabetes, hipertensión, que están un poco descontroladas, y pues esa es nuestra mayor preocupación, porque sabemos que en este tiempo en el cual todos estamos propensos al virus o al COVID-19, como se le llama, pues a las personas que sufren estas enfermedades crónicas, pues lógicamente son más propensas a que estos virus les ataquen más fuerte. Entonces estamos tratando de controlar estas personas. Ellos vienen, nosotros los atendemos con todo el cariño y el gusto del mundo. Y sobre todo pues tratamos de que la atención sea integral, es decir, que los atendamos bien en todo el sentido de la palabra, ¿sí? Que ellos se sientan acogidos, que se sientan queridos, que se sientan apoyados por nosotros, que les prestemos un buen servicio de salud, pero también un buen servicio humano, que ellos sientan que somos también pues personas, seres humanos, y que ellos también son parte fundamental en nuestro espacio.
Thank you, Julia and Sister Elizabeth, for being with us today and for your work in those communities. We'll send our next question to Concern America's board chair, Marty Trujillo. Marty has been on the board with Concern for over 15 years. Marty, how does Concern view sustainability at this time?
Thanks for the question, Jess. I think Concern has a definitive answer, and that's to build local capacity. Our goal with all of our projects in our communities is that they become their own agents of change, that they're able to build local structures to carry on those projects well into the future. A good example is how we were able to transition out of our project in Mozambique because a local group there that operates it on its own now. But I think sustainability is also about maintaining programs that make good use of limited resources, because that makes it possible during rough times like now to weather those moments and to maintain funding when it becomes challenging. But that's why we're happy to say that we're not planning any cuts to programs, staff, or services over the next year. And that means a lot to us. And it's only possible because of all of you, our great community of supporters. The challenges that this pandemic presents, I think, do have a bright side, and that is they're making us seek new ways to engage with one another. And that in turn is really asking us to connect with global hearts to further the sustainability of Concern America.
That's it for our Q&A today. We hope that we can answer any questions that were unaddressed in upcoming social media posts or blog posts. So be sure to check out our website and also follow us on any social media platform of your choosing. Now back to John and Kat.
Thanks so much, everyone. We're so glad that we could go to Julia in Guatemala, Sister Elizabeth in Colombia, and Marty right here in Orange County. When Kat and I were Concern America field volunteers in Guatemala in the 1990s, we can still remember having to drive down the road 45 minutes to the nearest phone, wait in line, and then cross our fingers that the person we were calling would pick up, as we couldn't call back. Amazing how technology has changed and enabled us to connect together across great distances. We turn now to our staff member, Betty, who is going to introduce a special guest.
Hello everyone, we love to hear from our concerned community and appreciate all your questions. Please know our door is always open. My name is Beatriz Juarez. I'm Concern America's Finance Coordinator, and it is my great privilege to introduce our final speaker, a very special person in the life of Concern America, our national spokesperson, actor, producer, and humanitarian, Mike Farrell. Most of you will know Mike for his role as BJ Honeycutt on the series MASH. He has had a long history of activism and working for social justice in the US and around the world. Please join me in welcoming Mike.
Thank you, Betty, and the Concern America team, and all of you present in whatever form who make the work of this great organization possible. My name is Mike. I'm happy to say I've been associated with the work of Concern America for over, it's hard to believe, over 40 years now. And I've seen up close and personal the work being done in some circumstances that are, I must say, rather challenging and difficult. Hard to remember and hard to forget. But anyway, we're here today to gather as a community, technologically, to celebrate the work of Concern, to strengthen the community of global justice, and to raise much needed funding for the continuation of this important work. The goal today is $15,000. Now, that's not an insignificant sum, but perhaps we can reach it or even exceed it because of the fact that we're already halfway there. In loving memory of her husband, Brian, Concern America supporter Eileen Bigelow is asking you to recognize her challenge and to do what you can. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you all for whatever you do, and thank you for being here today. Now I'll turn it over to Kat and John so they can tell you how you can give. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike, so much. It was so great to see you. Stay safe and keep up your important activism. So before we close, I just want to say a real special thank you to all of you for being here today. As we mentioned earlier, we do want to do a group photo. If you've been to our events before, we try to take a picture. Just imagine being out in the backyard and one of our photographers who volunteers her time climbs up into a tree house and takes a group shot. That's going to be hard today. But for the next 10 seconds, if everyone can just wave at the screen, Jess is going to take some group shots of everyone so we can remember that we were all here together. Yay! Keep waving. All right. It's so cool seeing everybody. All right.
All right. I think that's probably
Is that
good if your
good?
arms are tired. Thank you,
Thank
everyone. That was
you.
awesome.
That was awesome.
You know, as Mike mentioned, we do have a goal this afternoon of raising $15,000 to support the work that you've just seen in Colombia and our work in Guatemala and our work in this is even more important at this time with the work they're doing. If you are in a position today to make a special gift to support Concern, we invite you to click on the chat button. It's at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and some of you have already been clicking on there and doing some comments, which is wonderful. If you're able to make a donation and want to share what that would be, just click on the chat and type in your name and the amount, or anonymous in the amount, whatever feels comfortable for you. That way we get a sense of who's able to give at this time. The link that you could give, and you can hold off on clicking on that for a moment until we get to the end, will also be there in the chat feature. It will be on our website at concernamerica.org, and we'll send out the link to this page and with a recording of the event so you can watch it again or share with anyone else in the Concern community you think would like to see the summer celebration this year. Though a donation of any size is so very important, and together, collectively, as Kat said, together, you know, many donations will help us reach and even exceed our goal. Here's just a couple of examples of what that support will mean right now. As Julia mentioned, we have local health teams who are going out and delivering extra supplies of medications to each community because in those regions, public transportation has been shut down. This costs only $200 per community. She also talked about the health promoter practitioners and midwives making their own PPEs, their masks and the plastic face shields. $50 will make enough of those for 50 health promoter practitioners and midwives. A full $5,000 will cover all program costs for an entire month for Mexico, Guatemala, or Colombia. Again, any amount is most welcome. And I must echo the special thank you to Eileen Bigelow for bringing us halfway to our goal already. Thank you, Eileen. As we come to a close of our time together, we're going to end with a final song from Clint Rusich. Thank you, Clint, so much for bringing your beautiful music to our celebration today. Once he starts playing, don't worry, you can click on the chat button again and a window will pop up where you get to see people chatting. Thanks everyone for being here locally and internationally. I think we saw folks who are in Sweden even.
Yeah, Sweden.
Mary, former field volunteer. We have folks across the country. Thanks all for being here. Stay in touch, please, as we stay in touch with you. Enjoy our musical postlude. Pledge your support and give if you are able. And most importantly, just keep engaged with us in our collective efforts to build a better world for all.
Thank you for being here so much.
I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole wide world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and believe every man should be free. I wish I could give
Thank you everybody so much for being here tonight, for walking with us. We just feel so lucky. And although we're not together, we are very much together. We may not be together in space, but socially and just walking through this. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you all in the future.
Bye, everyone.